Sir,
Yes, sir.
Patrick, you ready? You think you're ready?
Think so. The red button's waiting.
Oh my God.
All right, Coach.
Everybody, welcome everybody. I at first wanted to congratulate Hills for Life. They raised $1 million in a short period of time. They were all new funds with their Hold the Line campaign, and wanted to thank everybody that was involved. It was everybody had a helping hand for the campaign. It was a full team effort. They reached out to the entire fan base. A lot of people on your websites stepped up and helped us, and I appreciate that so much, and want to say thank you, because everybody's got to be on board now for NIL. That's just, it's a new thing, but it's real, it's here, and there will probably be changes over the next few years, but in this transition period, we've got to stay up. And we're working really, really hard to make sure that our NIL collective is as good or better than the others that are out there. And that's something that we got a little bit behind with, but really excited right now. So this is a step in the right direction. It sure doesn't mean we're there. We've got to continue to go. We said we need a minimum of 5 million this spring. And we're getting close to that, but we need to continue to work to get there. But again, thank you to everybody that contributed. And if you haven't, let's keep this momentum going and reach out to Hills for Life website and learn more and continue to give to the kids. Our guys have been great. We've had guys that people have tampered with, and that's a real problem across the country, but our guys overall have been great. They've been understanding. They basically said, Coach, you and the collective handle the NIL and we'll handle the football. So they're great young people, and I appreciate it. We've had a few staff changes. Corey Holiday, after 23 years, and he decided he wanted to spend more time with his younger son, who's a professional soccer player growing up here, and so Corey's retiring, and it's emotional for me when you have him as a great player and a captain and a leader, and then you come back and he's one of the top leaders in our building for our football program. So really, really proud for him. And we'll restructure the staff. And a lot of staff members will get added responsibilities, starting with Pat Suttis, because Pat does such a tremendous job for us. But we'll just make it work within the building, and really just have other people doing a lot of different stuff. Daryl Moody retired. That's been in the works for about a year. Daryl wants to go play more golf and take some time off, and I think his brother's in Ashburn has golf 3 days a week, and Daryl said, I'm missing that, I gotta go do it. So, but Daryl's done a tremendous job for us with our guys, helping them transition to the NFL and giving them information, and then Sparky Woods wanted to pursue other opportunities because he's done a lot of great things here, but Sparky's a coach. He wants to coach and get on the field, and I totally understand that as well. So appreciate what those guys have done and how much hard work they've put in and how many lives they've changed over our last 5 years. Really excited about hiring Brian Simmons. He'll be the senior advisor to the head coach and our pro liaison. So he basically takes Coach Moody's place. And with that, what we will do is he'll also be involved in evaluation for the portal, because he's got such great experience. He was obviously, he's a legendary Tar Heel, first team All-American. He's in our Ring of Honor, first round draft pick, 10-year NFL veteran, and then 8 years experience as an NFL scout, and then 8 years experience as a high school coach. So he fits this role perfectly. He and Daryl are very good friends. They used to travel together with all of the scouting stuff, so it'll be a seamless transition. I'm actually speaking at a Nike clinic this weekend in Orlando, and Brian's going to pick me up and then take me back to the airport. And he'll be here in the first part of March and go through spring practice with the guys and make sure that he and Daryl work together with the combine and the pro day this year, so our guys do not get behind. Our early enrollee class, we said we signed 30 that came in. That's 20 high school guys, 3 preferred walk-ons. one junior college player that we said was eligible coming out of high school, and then 6 transfers. And those 6 transfers you'll get to talk to today. Very proud of the group of high school guys that came in. Their average core GPA was a 3.448. So they're a very bright group. We've been on the road most of the time recruiting, but we just got back and getting to watch them for the last couple of days. They're very athletic, and it'll be fun to coach them this spring, and should really help us have more depth in the fall, because when you're here in the spring, it gives you a chance to be more like a sophomore, or at least a redshirted freshman by the time that the fall starts. But workouts are going really well. We moved spring practice back till the day after spring break, because we wanted more time in our off-season program. We've got some things we're changing and things we want to get done. So spring practice will start the 19th of March, with the spring game being at 3 o'clock on April 20th. So that will be afterwards. And that's the first time that we've done that, but all of our coaches are getting more involved in our off-season program, and we wanted another week to be able to do the things that we needed to do. You start 9-1 and you don't finish well. You start 6-0 and you don't finish like you want to. So we're close. We're so close. We got so many great things going, but we've got to uncover every little stone to figure out what we can do to change the narrative. So we're evaluating everything. And then you got to learn how to win close games when you don't play well. You're not going to play well all the time. And when you don't play well, when we've played well offensively, we usually win. If we didn't, we weren't good enough on defense, so we lost. What we've got to do is get better on defense, be more like we were 2 years ago in special teams, because we weren't as good this year. And then we've got to learn how, as coaches, to do a better job in tight ball games where we're not playing well, and figure out how to win it. And that's the exciting part of where we are right now as we work toward that. We had a great recruiting weekend this weekend with the Duke basketball game. It's always special to bring guys in, and they had a great time. Before I turn it over to Pat, he's going to talk about each one of these guys individually, like he did the high school signees. It's a little bit weird, today's signing date. We're not signing anybody. So we were walking around today saying, "Isn't today signing date?" I said, "Yeah, it's a little different than the old days for all of us." So it is different. Questions?
Just real quick on Corey Holiday, Mac. So you're not hiring someone for that role. You said you're going to delegate it, split it up a little bit.
Yes, we're just going to restructure. And the same thing with Sparky's position. We're just going to restructure and work within the building as much as we can to move things around.
How much will the Heels for Life, the money that you guys are raising, allow you to be really active post-spring practice in the portal?
It'll help us. We need to get another $1 million. We need to get to a minimum of $5 million, and then you've got to be able to have retention on your roster. I mean, that's really important now. We lost Diego, and then you've got to, and that'll be a factor at the end of spring practice, because then you start the next cycle of the transfer portal. And then I think it's even more expensive for guys in the second phase of the transfer portal, because guys that didn't get what they wanted to in the first part and go through spring practice and see how desperate they are to get somebody at that position. So we've got to be more competitive in those areas.
So you have to keep your guys in December, then you got to keep them again in April and May.
Absolutely. I laughed last year, and it's probably not very funny, but we had the spring game on the first day the portal was open, and at the pregame meal, I told the coaches, if you walk by a guy and he doesn't look you in the eye, he's probably out of here. So that's just what we've got. So it's that's the world we're living in. So I figured this out too. We can either gripe about it, or we can work it. And when we had COVID, it was really bad. It was an awful situation for our world. And as coaches, you could either gripe about COVID and the things we couldn't do, or you could be the one that was the most creative and innovative and make it work. Same thing with what we've got now with the transfer portal and NIL. One of the fun things for me is trying to make it work. We can all talk about all the bad things. There's a lot of great things with NIL. It's just that we read about all the horror stories, and that's what we got to get corrected. There's a lot of great things with the transfer portal. I go back to Joe Burrow. He would have gone down as a third-team quarterback at Ohio State instead of a Heisman Trophy national championship winner. So there's some great stories in the transfer portal. The sad stories are the ones that transfer 4 or 5 times, and every time something goes wrong, they're going to another place. So those are the things we've got to get worked out. We've got to work out what is best for NIL and the players. They're getting paid. They're going to get paid for the rest of their lives. How can we do a better job of making sure that we have a strategic plan where all of us can get involved with helping young people instead of having it all over the place? And I think that's one huge thing right now we've got to look at.
Will Brian continue his radio work on game days?
No, he's going to be working with us. So that was one thing that he had to consider. But he's so excited to get back. And like I said, I talked to him this morning. He's picking me up Saturday morning. And I've talked to him on the phone. I haven't seen him because we didn't need to interview him. So he didn't come in. He knows the place really well.
Mack, I want to go back to the balance between, griping with the way things are now with the transfer portal and NIL and having fun with it, like you said, as far as being more innovative and all that. I mean, how do you handle that balance of being, staying away from being frustrated to the point where, you know what, I've had enough, I'm fed up with this or whatever, and still staying focused on the fact that, you have to keep up with the Joneses, with everybody else who is embracing this era of college football?
You get up in the morning and we all need a purpose. And right now, I have a purpose in helping our guys and helping North Carolina football. It's better than it was when we got here. Facilities are better. We're playing better, and we're so close. I want to get it where we wanted it, and that's. I think everybody got mad at me when I said 8 and 9 is pretty good around here. The truth is, it has been. That's who we've been on the good days, on the good years, and the truth is, that's not what we came back for, and that's not good enough. We want to win all the games, and it's so crazy next year with the 12-team playoff. Now I restructured our goals the other day, and I told our staff and our team, you want to win the opener, you want to win the ACC, and then you want to win your last game. And so your goals are different, and who knows what's going to happen with bowl games. And the other thing we need to do a better job of, if you're not in the playoff and you're in a bowl game, we need to do a better job of playing more people during the season and being able to manage opt-outs better. Because if not, you're just not going to win bowl games anymore. So we need to try to figure out who might opt out based on agents, based on NFL, and then play some more guys. So you just don't have one person that when they walk out, you lose the game. And that's just something we've got to look at. So it's challenging, but at the same time fun to take all this craziness. Easy to gripe, better to have fun with it and try to figure it out and try to help North Carolina get ahead.
Mack, in a perfect world, how many would you like to add in when the next portal window opens? Or how many do you need to add?
We really are looking at a defensive lineman. That's what we need, because we're thin with the younger defensive lineman. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape. And the other thing, Adam, that's where Pat's been so valuable. Roster management has become very difficult. Somebody may walk in today and say, I'm going in the portal, and then it changes your question. So going through spring practice, trying to be very honest with the players like we have, and then being in a position to, if these 5 guys are leaving, then you've got to replace them. And that's where the portal is so important at that point. And you've got to look at the portal every day, and in some cases, guys already know where they're going.
Right. Yeah.
So that's tougher with the tampering that's going on. But our staff does a tremendous job of looking at every one of them. I used to laugh. I used to send Pat every one of them, and all he would do, he used to call me and so give me a long answer about, and now he just says, no grades, no character. Some chance, we're looking. I mean, but I've quit sending them to him because he's tired of answering my text. He's way ahead of me.
But O-line, you think you're okay at the offensive line now?
I feel good about where we are.
Okay.
There's potentially we can be better in the offensive line next year than we were the last 2 years, in my opinion.
Okay.
I like what I'm seeing.
Can you elaborate on Howard and on Austin? I guess you cannot speak about the recent commitment, but
Yes, Pat, I can't say anything about guys that aren't here, right?
Trying to trick you, Coach.
No. That's why I said he can't.
But you know, you're next, so they're gonna get.
So you can talk about the two that are here today.
Yes.
You can't talk about the other one, that's fine.
Yes, so
What do you
Austin-
like about Howard and Austin?
Austin has been fantastic as a leader. He is fit in. He is a guy who can play all 5 spots because he has. I look out the window a few minutes ago, and before he comes in here to speak, he and Max Johnson are out there snapping the ball. But he has been so encouraging with the other guys to get them in everything, and I've seen him in the weight room. I've seen him run some. We can't see him with a ball. They just won't let us do that yet. But I'm really, really impressed with his attitude because he's been such a great leader in a short term. He was helping us recruit. So he was wanting to go everywhere and do everything. So I love his attitude. He's very similar to Corey Gaynor and what Corey brought us when he came in here with his energy and toughness from Miami. Howard's huge. You're going to see in a minute. He's huge, and he's got length, and we've really been impressed with him. And the good thing for him is so many of the young guys. I think Howard's got 3 years left, Pat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Howard's got 3 years left, and the great thing for him is Randy Clements coached him, recruited him, and coached him, so he has been on the field with him and knows how good he can be, and we think he'll just get better and better and better. So, and then we can't talk about the others.
All right, guys, we're going to bring Pat in and let him talk about the rest of these guys.
Thank you all. Travel
Thank you.
safe.